Unmute me. You're missing.
I'm not in there.
We're not ready. Oh no. You were there a minute ago.
Was I?
Yeah. Where are you? Like just away for a minute? Like in
Hello?
the bathroom? What do you got going
No,
on?
I'm here. I'm here.
I can't. I was clicking on the wrong spot to fix you.
Here we go.
Well, that's not it. Would you show up now?
No.
Oh.
We were so confident that we were ready.
This is the worst, most prepared ever.
Yeah, we need to stop being
Over
prepared.
prepared. We can't meet anymore during the week.
Yeah.
All right, come on. Where you at?
I don't know. Now the whole thing's dark.
Oh yeah, because it's on. I had to switch the scene to a scene of just you. Or I'll bring in your backup.
Oh, the other Darcy. They were just talking about other Darcy last week. Maybe that's
Threw some shade at her.
yeah. Maybe it's
Your link. Where'd you drop your link? I'm looking in the chat for a show broadcast. Where'd you go?
I'm in show broadcast.
It's from 10:14. Is the last one I have in there.
Let me see.
Good morning, Patricia. I see you're back to chatting again. That's awesome. Maybe you just
scroll
had
down?
you were probably being bad. Yeah, I'm all the way at the bottom of it. There's only two in here for me. There's a
Oh,
picture,
that is cool.
and then there's only one other. I only have one link. Here, I'll bring it over to our screen so you
No,
can
I see
see.
it. I see it now too. I don't know what happened to it. Yep. One moment. I get it for you.
So yeah, I'm glad you're back able to chat again. You know, you were being pretty bad the last couple of weeks, so we had to put you on timeout. Just joking.
It was lonely.
Oh, you have to do it on your phone now, so your computer's still not working? Okay.
Oh,
A little trick with the phone, though, is if you look where you type in your chat, there's a little microphone to the right of it, and you can just talk. If you hit that little thing and then say what you want to say, it'll type it for you, and then you can hit send.
and
So
you
don't
can
have to
send all
type.
kinds of weird things.
It's gonna get out of hand, yeah.
Never right.
Yeah. I have a few people, like my dad and my friend Phil. They both use a lot of the voice to text, and I'd say it's like 95% accurate. It does a really good job.
Yeah, Rick does it exclusively, and sometimes it's like, is now the time? Did you get the? By the way, did you get the
I see it.
link? Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, we're in public.
Yeah, that's the part that like
Either
totally
not.
changes. Yeah, I'm
It's
completely
like
with
when
you.
people would walk around with the Bluetooth thing.
There we go. Bye, Darcy, or
There
fake
we go.
Darcy. We'll go here first. All right. Well, good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
We were super prepared. We met
So,
twice this week.
mhm.
Had all our stuff ready. The second meeting, we even said, man, we're ready to go. We don't need to start and meet up as early before our show.
We still did though. We
Nah, we were still at like 7:15ish.
still. Oh,
So it wasn't really like that. If you think about it, it wasn't that 6:30 that we put in the text.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I think, for our conversation, we were both up at that time.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
was
It
like,
was just a
I
slow
don't feel
start.
like talking to you yet.
Fair enough.
Well,
least-
it was more I didn't feel like talking.
I was say Animes looks like it's cooperating a little bit better today.
Yeah.
People started at work using avatars. It's weird. It's okay. I'm not saying it's like you shouldn't. It's just weird having that cartoon in a array of normal video. If everybody was using it, it'd be okay. And then I tried to make my own avatar in Teams, and they don't have the right baldness. So they don't have my hairstyle. Like where they have like a receding hairline one, which is close, but I don't have that middle part either.
That's
so then
hilarious.
so then I had to like like I was going through the, I don't know, what they have, probably like 16 hairstyles, and I'm like, I can't use any of these because they're all like totally not even close. And I picked one with hair. I was like, all right, if I had hair, this is what I would do. And so then by the time I got done with it, it didn't even look like me. It wasn't even close. And then I just went back to.
Do you want me to draw you an avatar? You just take one of our pictures.
That that is awesome. That one I might actually do. I might use your picture of me.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, that would make it awesome. But I don't think it would be appreciated as much as I appreciate it. That would be the best though, to see a bunch
That
of
would be
stick
perfect.
people. That would be awesome to see that in the array of meetings. Like you just pop up and it'd be so quick. You could change your mood so easy. Like you just draw your own stick person all the time. And like today you're wearing different clothes. You put different stick people clothes on. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
I wish we were a little more sophisticated on this channel, like where we could run contests and stuff. I'd love to see all our viewers send us in their best stick people.
I agree. But then it may make me not want to keep doing the art.
Why?
Because then that would be too much
Do
competition.
you think real artists ever said that? No. No, you do it because you like doing it. And then you just happen to get paid for it.
I do like it.
That's it.
I don't
That's why we do the show. We like doing it, and well, we don't get paid for it, but we do
Yeah,
it
we
just
do.
because we like doing it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's interesting, and we only have, a typical 4 viewers watching at a time, and we've
I
done it
know.
for a year, but it's still, I keep doing it because I like doing it. I like finding the articles. I like going through the process. It's a nice creative outlet. So,
I agree. I was telling Rick about one of our articles, and I was like, well, I didn't actually read it. I'm just going based off of one of the pictures. I was like, I'll tell you more about it on Saturday. 'Cause I'm curious. I want to learn about it. And I feel like it might not be as exciting if I've read too much.
yeah,
Oh,
see?
thanks, Phoebe.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
and that's the fun of it. Like, it hurts my heart when people stop doing their creative stuff because either somebody says something bad about it. Well, when I say bad about it, something like they give their opinion about it.
Mm,
It's how you interpret it. Is it bad? No, it's just somebody else's opinion. It might not be what you want to hear, but it's just their opinion. But yeah, it hurts my heart when like people doing crafty things or doing anything that they want to do stop because of things like that, or because somebody else does it better. Or there's always going to be better people all the time. There's going to be a
yeah.
better, best football player, best basketball player, best artist. There's going to be always somebody better, and that's just the nature of the game. But as long as you're enjoying it when you're doing it, that's all that truly. It's funny, you think back to when you were younger maybe and heard that, as long as you like doing it, that's all that matters. And it really is true though. Like as a kid, it's just like, don't say that. It does
Yeah.
matter. It does, because you're always locked in this competition. And my biggest competitor is myself. Like that's who I compete with, is try to better myself or try to do better, or I get mad at myself.
Hmm.
It wasn't like that when I was younger, maybe, but
No.
now that I'm older, it's like, no, I just compete against myself. I curse myself. It's always my fault. I try not to blame others, because I could have done something different, or I couldn't have, and it's just the way it is. But now I know.
Hmm.
It's always those types of things. It's experience, wisdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should
I
never be discouraged.
Yeah, actually, I baked a couple pound cakes last week, and one of them, one was perfect, and the other one was so raw in the middle because they were just in little loaf pans. It was so raw in the middle that it made a huge hole in the middle, and I've never had that happen before. And I told Rick, it was like one of my pans is dark and the other one's a light color pan. So obviously the light color pan's gonna take longer to cook. I know that I've baked long enough. I know this. And that one also had more batter in it. And I still took them out at the same time. And I was like, what was I thinking? So I, But instead of getting, I was a little disappointed because one of them was for family, so that was a little disappointing. But then I was like, sweet, now I have something to fix next time I make it, you know. And it's just
Hmm.
been a long time since I baked, so
Yeah.
I'm making rookie mistakes all
Yep.
over again.
Yep. And you'll have that because it's like, oh yeah, I got to remember that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I need to start with something simpler. So I'm gonna make cookies this weekend. Not that like pound cake is hard, but it's like, you know what? Maybe just like throwing everything into a bowl and then stirring it is kind of the place I need to start. It's hard to mess up a cookie.
That's funny. Um, I was gonna say that applies like you just get back into the routine and you get better, or as you do things more, you typically get better. I mean, you eventually plateau, and maybe that's just where you're at. You know,
Hmm.
that's your skill level, and so that's where you max out. But as long as you enjoy it. But I was thinking everything except for that doesn't apply to podcasting for some reason.
Because we just keep getting better every week. It's it doesn't
Our
seem possible. I
there's
hear it.
parts of it that gets better, but there's other parts that don't improve. It seems like we'll call it our preparedness. No matter how hard we try in so many different ways, whether we're totally unprepared and throw it together 45 minutes before the show, or we
Or
prepare.
we're 45 minutes late because we've been spending.
Yeah, there's just
No,
it's just funny. So
maybe we're just crazy and we're just expecting it to work. One of these times, we won't be
we've had a
prepared,
couple,
and we'll,
but not too
yeah,
many. Not too many.
yeah, I think we've had enough successes with our waiting till the last second that it's made us lazy.
Hmm.
But
Hmm. We've had too many successes. Gotcha.
I'm sure we'll have more. I just don't see it changing. And as long as our audience is okay with it.
Yeah. I was looking at I have a little screen for stats. I never pay attention to it. I was just looking
No.
at it. Looks all right. Interesting. Do we have frames? Oh, drop frames. Out of 51,000 frames we've sent so far, we've only lost 111, 0.02% or 0.2%. So that's not very much.
No?
Skip frames due to encoding lag, which would be my video card, is at 0%.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
You
that's
should be
nice.
very proud.
My card's old now, but it was good a couple of years ago. But it's doing good. So, all right, let's get the show started. We have a lot to cover, some really interesting things. Everybody
Yeah.
that's been waiting on pins and needles, is that the saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pins and needles.
To know what our show topic is, because now we don't advertise it ahead of time.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
It's a
it's
mystery.
kind of fun too. We'll be starting to release our short or videos probably maybe this weekend. Might do last week's. We could build up a little catalog and then start releasing them. I want to get some practice on cutting video. But today's show is all about our website. No, I'm just joking. I'm just switching this over.
Yay! Oh,
Oh man, we
sorry.
should have probably had it somewhere.
This is like the last thing I worked on, and I still forgot to grab it.
He could have went with the wah wah wah.
Um,
They would have been maybe excited for
The
something.
potato.
I'm a potato.
So funny, so funny. We're gonna talk about haunted houses, and not houses that are haunted, but the fun attractions.
Yep.
So we have. We're gonna talk about the history. We're gonna talk about some fun facts. We're going to talk about the science between creating the perfect haunt or scare, making jump scares. Then we'll go look at some top attractions in the country, and then we'll look at the dark side. The what is how does Vice
Whoa.
do it? Like the underbelly, the what's their
I don't
words?
know.
Like the dark underbelly of
I've never watched Vice.
haunted houses. You never watched that? like where they do the. It's like
So like 48 hours or
no, it's more like the downfalls of people, or they'll cover about an industry, but they'll only look at the bad and evil side of it.
oh,
That type of stuff. Like what's wrong with it. So
gotcha.
they were looking at the one I watched last was about comedy, and it was talking about how many comedians get on the stuff and have troubles and ruin their career and stuff like that. They were they were
Yeah.
looking at few of the more famous downfalls.
Yeah, that would be a hard career. I mean, you're always in bars and stuff, and
Hmm.
there's a whole bunch of stuff in there.
And late night too, super
Yeah,
late night.
yeah, yeah. The people that you're around and the places that you're at, there's just a lot of different things going on. Not
Yep,
that there's, you know,
just like haunted houses.
yeah, exactly, exact. The
Exactly.
comedy of haunted houses.
All right, you ready to learn about them?
I can't wait.
Okay, so what is this
This
one?
is too scary already.
Too scary already? What, you don't like the big face in the back?
Ghost house.
I don't even. It's funny. If you can see my screen, I just scrolled through. It wasn't even in
No.
this article. So our pictures are probably not going to line up with our articles for some reason today, but we'll see. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, okay.
It's not in this one for sure. I was just going to try to say what the picture is of. Huh. All right. Guess we don't have it anywhere. Just appeared. That's even scarier.
Where did this come
We'll
from?
find it eventually. All right. So, where did haunted houses start? The origins of haunted houses date back to the 19th century London. Of course, it was those
Yeah,
Londoners that came up with all the crazy stuff.
as if they didn't have enough horrors happening.
Yeah. Yeah, England's an interesting. If you're a history person, England's got a lot of not great things that happened during their timeline. I mean,
Yeah.
every country does, but theirs is quite interesting. So 19th century London, when a series of illusions and attractions introduced the public to new forms of gruesome entertainment. In 1802, Marie Tussaud scandalized British audiences with an exhibition of wax sculptures of decapitated French figures, including Louis the 16th, Marie Antoinette, Marat, and Robespierre. Robespierre? I don't know. I've never heard of them. I heard of the first two, but
Hmm.
Tussaud's
I think that's
likenesses. Oh,
Tussaud.
what?
I'm not sure. Is that Marie Tussaud, the wax
Oh,
thing?
is that what it is? Marie Tussaud?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Tussauds. I thought it was spelled a little different, but yeah, you're exactly right. That's what it is. Marie Tussauds likenesses were remarkably accurate, really. Have you seen some of those early wax ones? They were not even close. Like, if you look at any of the ones from like the 80s and the 90s, they were horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, but
Right.
that was like 100 and something years later. I don't think she was around anymore.
Yeah, but I'm talking about back in 1802. Do you think they were better?
Oh, compared to
One's from
others? Yeah.
1980. So it'd be
We don't know.
interesting. Tussauds' likenesses were remarkably accurate with good reason. She created death masks of the French Revolution's many guillotine victims. Really?
Oh,
Really?
you did.
So if you didn't get what that was, she basically did what, a cast of people's chopped off heads.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they were accurate.
Yeah. No wonder.
All right. When she set up a permanent London exhibition, she dubbed her grotesque collection the Chamber of Horrors. And that name has stuck to the Wax Museum to this day. At the turn of the 20th century, Rebecca McKendry describes in Fangoria magazine the closest relatives to modern haunted houses began experimenting with the macabre themes. In Paris, the Grand Guignol Theater became notorious for its on-stage depictions of graphic dismemberment. The theater's director, Max Murray, famously boasted he judged each performance by the number of people who passed out shocked in the audience.
Crazy.
Okay. In 1950, oh, what? Where are you saying?
I was just like that just reminded me when I remember hearing about when The Exorcist came out, like people were getting sick and like there was similar when it originally came out. Anyway, it just reminded me of that. Sorry.
Yeah. Wasn't there people thrown up in the theater over that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ex-mother-in-law was one of them.
Ooh.
She sat at the drive-in though.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that movie. Like watching it over and over, but
it's very long. I understand.
In 1915, an English fairground in Liphook debuted one of the first ghost houses, an early type of commercial horror attraction. The public appetite for horror was picking up. I thought we already had an appetite for horror back then. Because they did, they chopped people's heads off. They put them up in, cages up in the town square. They did hangings. I mean, we did hangings all the way up. Oh, well, that would be a sensitive subject. I was thinking of Wild West, but yeah. So even here in the United States, there was hangings and stuff like that. So, I think,
Maybe
and that public, huh?
For fun. Maybe they mean it's harmless.
Yeah.
Horror?
I don't know. So, I guess it's just an accepted public app. Like you paid to go see it instead of you just got to see it. I don't know. Got me. I don't. It would be weird to live in that time. Horror-themed haunted houses first emerged during the Great Depression as American parents schemed up ways to distract young tricksters whose holiday pranks had escalated to property damage, vandalism, and harassment of strangers. They came in about the same time as Trick or Treat did. The kids were getting unruly, so they gave them candy and sent them to haunted houses.
That'll do it.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. All right.
Feels
Whatever.
like you're just making the situation worse.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know who came up with that plan. Probably a kid. You're like, hey, we need some candy.
Candy, it'll be okay.
Instead of robbing you for your money, we'll just take candy. Huh. Yeah. I just don't like if there was a bunch of unruly kids wandering around, why did the adults just not take care of that situation?
Well, I mean, back then it was different, right?
Yeah, but still, you get
I don't
together
know.
as a town and you're just like, all right, all our kids are bad. Let's go put a smack into them. I mean, I don't know. And it's not like they were saying they were walking around with firearms and stuff. So it would suck, but you gotta put the kids in their place. Those first haunted houses were very primitive. Groups of families would decorate their basements and hold house-to-house parties. Kids could spook themselves by traveling from basement to basement and experiencing different scary themes. This 1937 party pamphlet describes how parents could also design trails of terror to spook their children. The effects may seem familiar to anyone who has ever been disappointed by a subpar scare. All right, here we go. An outside entrance leads to a rendezvous with ghosts and witches in the cellar or attic. Hang old fur strips of raw liver on the walls where one feels his way to dark steps. Weird moans and howls come from dark corners. Damp sponges and hairnets hung from the ceiling touch his face. Doorways are blackened so that guests may crawl through a long, dark tunnel. At the end, he hears a plaintive meow and sees a black cardboard cat outlined in luminous paint.
Scary. The cat. I could go through all that just to see a cardboard
Yes,
cat.
they're
That's awesome.
their biggest scare at the very end is a cardboard black cat. Hey, little dude, you hear that? You're the scariest thing in 1937.
Yep.
I thought the raw liver on the walls was pretty scary.
Yeah, everything leading up to it was creepy.
Yeah, that was setting a really good scene. I mean, it was cheesy, but I mean, it was definitely setting a scene. It was interesting. They were creative. They thought it out. But then at the end, they hear a plaintive meow. Meow. Or is it? Could have been like a screech. Yeah. Not good. Not good.
Lame.
Yep. The haunted house didn't become a cultural icon, though, until Walt Disney, boom, decided to build one. Disney's Haunted Mansion. That's my favorite haunted house. Opened in 1969, nearly 2 decades after Disney first approved the Beleaguered project. Is that what that word is?
I'm not sure.
It's a troubled project. The attraction was designed in the style of the Evergreen House and the Winchester Mystery House. Quickly became a success. In a single day, shortly after its debut, more than 82,000 people passed through the Haunted Mansion. What, everybody that lived in Florida at the time?
Yikes.
The attraction
It's a
center.
Disneyland. That's California. I almost said Canada.
Oh, it started in California. Oh, yeah, sorry. Your guys' was the second one. I always had that switched.
Yeah,
Yours is
Disneyland
just
was
bigger.
first in Disney World.
Yours is bigger, but Disneyland, okay, California. So yeah, everybody that lived in California came through.
Mm-hmm.
The attraction's centerpiece is the Grand Hall, a 90-foot ballroom sequence of dancing ghouls at a birthday party. Yeah. I think blocks this memory. The Grand Hall, I believe. Oh no, that's well, he blocks that too. Yeah, that's where the Grand Hall is where they're dancing and spinning around. That's really cool, actually. That's with the illusions and the mirrors and how they do it. Disney brought the scene to life through exceptionally complex series of illusions known as Pepper's Ghosts, which uses reflected light to project the shape and I don't know that one. Man, I'm just messing up. Ethereal? How do you say Ethereal? Ethereal images?
I can't find it. Sorry.
Are you looking at my screen?
Ethereal. 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 I guess how
I don't even like that word. It's dumb.
Ethereal. That's
Ethereal?
it.
Ethereal images?
I know I could figure it out.
Well, this is also a speech class for everybody here, reading class.
You do an excellent job.
A lot of professional haunters will point to one thing, that Disneyland's Haunted Mansion. It's the start of the haunted attraction industry. The attraction was revolutionary, as somebody explains in this Trick or Treat. What made the Haunted Mansion so successful and so influential, however, was not its similarity to haunted houses and dark rides, that its tawdry carnival haunted houses of the past. That is tawdry carnival haunted houses of the past, but its use of startling new technology and effects. Ghosts were no longer simply sheets hung in a tree, but were instead actual shimmering, translucent figures that moved, spoke, and sang. A witch wasn't just a rubber mask figure bent over a fake cauldron, but a completely realistic, bodiless head floating in a crystal ball, conducting a complex seance. Yes.
It was horrifying.
If you haven't had a chance to see the Haunted Mansion, And especially as a kid, like a young kid, it goes one of two ways. Either you think it's cool or you think it's scary as it's scary.
Yeah.
Because
I was the kid that was horrified. I mean, I was scared of the Care Bears show, but I hated it. I kept my eyes closed the whole time. I did see bits and pieces, and it was horrifying. And my brother and sister loved it.
yep, I loved it. Link did not at all.
Link and I have some
At all. Like, I was thinking the grand ballroom was where the entrance. So they started off with a bang. It is not.
Yeah, they did.
It's not
You
even
knew
like
where
you
to go.
ease into it. So you go. What happens is if you haven't been to it, this is my favorite attraction. So I am super biased. This is probably one of my favorite rides of all time. Just because I was amazed on the different elements of it. So you walk in and they cram everybody into this room and you're tight, like shoulder to shoulder tight. I mean, like you're pretty, like maybe not touching, but you're pretty close. You're pretty close. And they get about 20 people into this octagon shaped room. And then the lights go out. And then they have a couple scary sounds, and then like this skeleton thing appears. They light it up on the wall, and it starts giving you the little spiel, and it's not pleasant. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just for like a 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid, it's scary. And then they open like a little secret door that everybody walks through, and that's when you actually get in line to get in the ride, I believe. It's been, I don't know, 15 years since I went on it. 15, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, about 15 years. And so then you get in these little like if you've ever been to a fair, the little things you sit in and spin. It's kind of like a cupped type seat, and it's a bench seat, and it's just got a handlebar, and you don't flip up or anything, so it's just a flat track ride. So you don't have any belts or anything. Maybe nowadays they do, but there's no reason for it. It's just like most of the Disney attractions. They're not like crazy on their roller coasterness of it. I mean, Space Mountain is, but not most of them. And then so then you get in this thing, and it takes you through a journey through this haunted house. And some of the things that they do in it are really amazing. That grand ballroom, they have dancing ghosts that look like you would totally picture a ghost looking like if you could see it. And they're moving around, and they look so lifelike. There's that witch in the crystal ball doing the seance, and it looks like a recorded face, but it's pretty good. But then the highlight of the ride is when you're riding through the set of mirrors and you look over at it, and it shows like a ghost sitting with you in your little cart.
I was gonna mention that. It's one of the worst parts of the ride for me. I still remember it.
Yes.
I was like screaming, crying. I said absolutely nothing because I was a very shy kid.
Yeah, Link had his shoulder or his head buried in my shoulder saying, I am done. Get me off this the whole time. And I'm like enjoying it, and it's great. And then we get to that, like he looked up a couple times, and every time he looked up was really the worst times.
Yeah.
It was something in his face or something scary. And it's not like this place is scary. It's really not. If you're an adult, you're like, this is cool, or it's kind of dumb. Like it's one of the two, because it's not like when you're an adult, you can kind of see all the non-coolness of it. It's a very old attraction. I mean, they haven't really done anything different to it since 1969 from what I went, I don't know, sometime in the 80s. And when I went again later on, it was the same exact ride from what I remembered. But yeah, Link looked up during that spot when you had it sitting in there, and he did not like that either.
Yeah.
Oh, it's but the illusion of it is so amazing. It is like crazy how they get it to sit in there with you, and it fills in. It's not like it's on top of you or anything. It's in the perfect spot. It looks like it's really sitting there with you. That's what, at least from my memory. And again, I'm a fanboy, and so I don't have any critiques of this at all. Even with my germophobia. I don't mind being crammed in that opening scene because that really sets the tone. It just sets the tone for. Oh, and it's even better when you're walking up to it as you're in line. They have spooky sounds and stuff, and we went at night too. That was the best part. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, because that's when I wanted to go. I didn't want to go during the day. I didn't want to take anything away from it. And it's, yeah, he didn't want to go on it from the very beginning. Like that
Yeah.
was just like flat out don't want to go on it. So.
It's got haunted in the title. No thanks.
Yeah, no, and I was like, and that was the first ride we did, and then after that it got better. We did nighttime, so. And then I asked if he wanted to go back on it again, and then so moving on through the history, we're gonna take a break here in a second. The United States really kind of took off with this whole haunted house stuff. So in California, Knott's Berry Farm began hosting its own Halloween night, which soon transformed into a multi-week slate of events. Every year, a man named Bob Burns attracted national media attention for his detailed recreations of classic horror movies. Evangelical Christians even made their own anti-Halloween attractions.
Oh.
And then Hollywood began to embrace slasher movies like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. So it really took off from 1969 on, with that Haunted Mansion. And then if you went to a haunted house in the 80s and 90s, you would have seen a lot of Freddy Krueger, Jason, Pinhead. Yep.
Yeah, Pinhead.
Yeah, Pinhead he was a little out there. The haunted house industry really followed the movie industry at that time. Professional haunted houses first emerged as a force in the same era, quickly outspending nonprofit groups like the JCs. Then tragedy struck. A fire at a haunted house in New Jersey trapped and killed 8 teenagers. In the aftermath of their deaths, attractions were shut down. Politicians enacted stronger safety regulations. Yeah, I remember going when I was a kid, and yeah, they seemed dangerous even then.
Yeah, but I feel like everything was dangerous.
Yeah, it was. It was.
There's most places that you could go into, but yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because they were just thrown together. I don't recall thinking I would expect to have gotten
tetanus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was gonna say cut by a nail that's hanging out or something. You were on the exact.
Totally on the same page.
Yeah, we were, because we know exactly what type of these. They were just thrown together, and they were fun. I mean, we went to I remember my dad taking us to we did Halloween. He hated them because he's claustrophobic, so he wouldn't go in. So he'd just send us in, and we convinced him one time he had to be removed. Yeah, we got him to go in one time, and they had to turn on the lights and take him out. It was not cool. And yeah, I mean, he's always had his claustrophobia issues, but he would send us in, just the 3 of us, and it was fun. It's just you just go in, so then you're even unsupervised, so then you can be even a little more unruly. But yeah,
you start messing with your siblings.
Oh yeah,
and they're messing with you.
Yep, it was.
Yeah,
fun.
I wouldn't have gone if it was just me and my siblings. I'd be like, well, I guess I'm not going.
Yeah, we would hit 2 or 3 or 4 in the night. I remember driving all over the area to go to different ones. We would show up, they'd just have signs just popped up along the road. I mean, there was no social media at this time. How do you find out about them? Newspaper, that was about it. And so
I never went to a haunted house until I was in my 40s.
Oh yeah,
we never went when we were kids.
We would drive around, and you would just basically you'd drive town to town, or you'd hear about them. And you go look for it, and then there would just be a sign haunted house this way. I'm not lying. It was the best. So
that's awesome. I'm going to take my kids to strangers.
Yep.
Who knows what? That's awesome. You got to love the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. It was interesting because we'd rate them. We'd talk about them afterwards. So sometimes they just have it'd be 2 rooms. You'd pay $3, $4, $5 per person, whatever. And it was just nothing. We'd come out that was trash. It'd just be some lit up jars with some colored liquids and people dressed up, and that was about it. No effort. I have a couple images in my head where I was it's just lame. You're just walking through and you're this is stupid.
Yep, and they were laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, they were. They were. We waited in
They're
line for that. Yes. Yes.
they're
Yes.
like minimal effort for maximum result.
A large haunted house attraction can reportedly earn $3 million during the
No,
Halloween
oh yeah,
season. And the
that's crazy.
Halloween industry is worth 300 million. The haunted house attraction industry specifically, I'm sure. Halloween in
Hmm.
general is worth more than 300
Oh,
million.
way more than.
These days,
Yeah, that
haunted
too.
houses. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say 300 million sounds like for actual Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
I know I've spent a huge chunk of my money on candy corns already this year,
Yeah.
so I mean, sorry.
Yeah. And haunted houses have evolved. They're now, and we'll get into those here in a minute. These days, haunted houses are no longer just about creepy characters and hyper realistic horror. Instead, the industry has flocked to all new sorts of extreme frights, zombie runs, escape games, experiences. Oh, zombie run, that's interesting. Experiences seemingly designed to traumatize. Yeah, they're basically torture chambers now.
That
In
is
some places.
hilarious and horrifying. Rick's been watching The Walking Dead again, and when it was on, I lived in Olympia, and so I would go out to the bars and on when there a new episode would come out, several of the bars in Olympia would put like projectors up and play it, and I would have to leave because one, I'm horrified of zombies. I will have nightmares. Um, and two, it was night and I would be walking home by myself. And I was like, there is no way. And so like it would always be like, Darcy, we're gonna start The Walking Dead. And I'm like, okay, see you later. Like they knew. Like if I was there, the just they'd give me a little heads up so I didn't accidentally see it. I'm such a wuss.
Yeah, I mean, Link doesn't like scary stuff. I'm sure because I traumatized him, but that and
That's
the
what dads
beginning
are
of King
supposed to
Kong.
do.
That was the second major traumatization. And it wasn't King Kong the monkey part. It's the part where at the beginning Jack Black goes and finds those people, the the people that live on the island, the
Hmm.
tribal people, and then they bite his hand when he reaches out or whatever. And they hiss. And that pretty much ended that like until he was into his late teens. I would say he didn't watch anything scary. He wouldn't even. He'd leave the room if a commercial came for a scary movie. No, we'd have to mute it.
That is
It was
hilarious.
yeah. It was
I never related to somebody so much before.
yeah. Like just flat out. No, not at
Yeah.
all. I'm done.
But to be fair, like I did watch when I was a kid, I did see Nightmare on Elm Street and I did watch Hellraiser when I was in like 5th or 6th grade. So I was still pretty young when I saw those and it was fine, but like I said, the Care Bears, my mom still makes fun of me because in the beginning it would be like a really something bad would happen, and I would always like close my eyes or leave and then just come back when the rest of the show was on. And so she makes fun of me for being scared of Care Bears and like, but yeah, the Haunted Mansion, zombies.
A zombie run would be fun nowadays in a way. I mean, if you don't
I
like it,
think
but
Rick would enjoy it, but I couldn't. I think it would still be nightmares.
it would be cool because I think it would be a giant game of tag. That would be really what you're playing. So the zombies are the people just trying to tag the other people, right? Kind of hide and seek tag combo, and then you could and flag football in a way, because you know how are you gonna fight? You can't fight each other, right? You can't punch and kick them away because that's part of the survival, right? If you can beat them away.
Yeah, but that would be so hard to like resist doing that because it you
No,
would be
it's flag
scared.
football rules. So you don't punch the other team when they're trying
No,
to
I
pull
know.
your
I'm just
flag off.
saying like it would be scary and it
Oh
would be
yeah,
hard. You'd have to like restrain yourself
but
and
you're
I
playing a
don't know.
game. You're playing a game. I mean, really, if it's a zombie run, I mean, I don't get what you're
Yeah,
doing other than just playing a game there. But you could
yeah.
have like little flags on you that they pull off as they're pretend
And
biting
then
you.
you have to join
Yeah, then
the
you,
ranks.
yep, exactly. Or you can. I mean, you can join the ranks if you want. But yeah, it'd be interesting if you're playing for a prize.
Hmm.
But yes, I
I
get.
feel like it's coffee time.
Yep. All right, so we'll be
I need a
back
break.
in a short break.
Hmm. We have a lot of articles to do.
I was already thinking we'll just do a part 2.
Oh, nice. I like. I started talking and I thought you were gone. Yep, I'm back.
All right. Well, next up, we got some. Ooh,
Oh.
some facts. We won't leave this one up too long. Let's just go to the next one. I don't like that picture that much. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, this is more fun. I like these guys. That's awesome.
That looks like some kid just is doing a lemonade stand.
Yeah. With the dog. This guy over in the corner is giving his dog a arm bone. I have an evil laugh. I don't know why I used that one. But that's okay.
We need to get you the Stream Deck.
I know. Well,
Then you
yeah.
can just see the little picture and you'll be like, yeah, that one's mine.
I can see the little pictures.
Oh, okay, then I don't know what your problem
Yeah.
is.
No, my problem is this is always my problem. And I just need to get used to it. Give me a little bit and then
More
it'll
practice.
be more
Gotcha.
fluid. Yeah. In the meantime, it'll just be funny because it's awkward and late.
The wrong one, it's late, yeah.
Why you bully me?
Oh, fun times, fun times.
Yep. Bear with me, folks. This
So-
time next year, we should be doing better.
This time next year. Well, we just got our overlay updated. We can only do one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
so there's an estimated 1,200 haunted attractions charging admission fees to their events in the United States. We additionally estimate that there are over 300 amusement facilities producing some sort of Halloween or haunted house event, such as an amusement park or a family fun center. Lastly, there are over 3,000 charity attractions that open for one day on a Halloween or 1 or 2 weekends in October, produced by a local charity group. Our members are within question are the best of the best. What? Why is that sentence even in there? American America haunts represent the top 1% of haunted houses in size, scales. Okay. I get you. They're advertising. I'm on a page where they're
Yeah,
talking about themselves. I was like,
about their own haunted house.
yeah,
Ah,
it's in the top 1%.
I'm like, wow, that's low.
Yeah, I was thinking of it the other way. I was like, huh, okay, whatever. But yeah, just like what you were thinking. It was like, I wouldn't brag about that. But they're saying they're in the top bestest.
Yeah.
Typical haunted attraction averages around 8,000 paid guests. This figure grossly depends on the market and the size of the attraction. About 80% of the professional attractions in America attendance are less than 10,000 paid guests or more than 7,500 paid guests. Less than 3% of haunted attractions have attendance figures over 35,000. Okay, yeah. That's interesting. I'd wonder how much we have two really big scare parks that
Oh,
have
really?
multiple attractions at them. Yeah, they have one's got 6 I think attractions at it, and the other one's like a torture place.
Oh,
So it's got like 3 or 4. Yeah, it's the more serious one. You got to be like 18 to go there.
that's
I don't know.
crazy.
I haven't been to that one. It's called I forget what it's called. Legend Park, I think is the name of it.
Mhm.
Less than 3%. Some attractions, mega haunted house events attract over 40 to 60,000 guests, but those numbers are around 1 or 2% of all attractions, about 10% of all attractions in the country average between. So they can pull anywhere from, let's say, 7,000 people up to 60,000 people per season.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Do you guys have big ones? Do you have a
Yeah.
lot?
We get Halloween Horror Nights at Busch Gardens, and then Disney has one, and like the theme parks in Orlando have them. Although I heard when we went to Busch Gardens, we did a guided tour, which was amazing. I would totally recommend it. And our guide had done the same thing at Universal, I think. And she was like, even the guided tours, you're waiting for hours because it's just so many people. So she also said like Busch Gardens is just better because you can really get through pretty quickly. Um, with our guided tour, the longest we waited to get into a haunted house was 5 minutes, and it was nice. And they gave us beverages between, and we had like areas away from everybody where we could go and just kind of like relax, which was nice, because when you're at those places, it's just jam packed full of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a hard time being around a bunch of people for that long, and it's scary going through the haunted houses, and it's nighttime, and there's like creepy things happening all around.
Yep. So Halloween is the second largest commercial holiday in the United States.
What's the first one? Christmas?
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah, I would guess.
Over $7 billion is spent yearly on candy, costumes. Oh yeah, here's our number that we were looking for. $7 billion a year in activities
Yeah,
in the
that's
United States alone. Approximately 100 countries celebrate Halloween. Approximately 90% of all households with children will participate in a Halloween activity. The most common demographic is teens and young adults 18 to 34. Research shows that people enjoy being scared while in a safe environment, such as attending a movie, on a thrill ride, or a haunted house, and they are willing to pay for the experience. Some haunted houses charge as much as $45. Major amusement park haunts charge as much as $75, and the over 80% of the attractions charge less than $20.
Nice. So anybody can go if you want to
Mm-hmm.
get
Or you can just make one up in your basement.
yeah,
Invite
with
people
fur
over.
and liver.
Yeah, just get some liver.
All you need is fur, liver, and a cardboard cat.
Haunted houses and attractions are extremely safe due to tough safety and fire codes they must now all live by. Most haunted houses inside a building are required to have a sprinkler system, early warning smoke or heat detectors, which will alert the fire department, emergency lights, fireproofing of all materials inside the attractions, industrial, electrical applications, easy access doors throughout the attraction, panic hardware exit doors, multiple fire extinguishers, panic systems, and much more. Most haunts now must also be ADA compliant and have no trapdoors or items in the floor that could cause trips and falls. Our members work with local state officials to make sure that our attractions for them. But yeah, I don't know if that is like a common thing that they're all safe. Some of them still look a little sketchy. But.
Yeah. Yep. It sounds like people can't just have them in their houses anymore. Like when you were a kid, or do they still do that?
Have what?
The haunted houses at their houses.
Oh, I don't know
Like
if
you were
anybody that
saying.
does it now.
I
I haven't
don't
heard
know,
about
when
that
you
for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we got the science. How do you scare people?
You jump out with wiggly fingers.
Designing the perfect haunted house. Sociologist Margie Kerr, who studies fear and is an expert in haunted houses. Kerr believes that the popularity of these attractions has a lot to do with our body's fight or flight mode. When our breathing speeds up and our neurotransmitters, including dopamine and oxytocin, yeah, there we go, typically associated with feeling good, are released. Knowing that we're not in actual danger, it lets us enjoy this elevated state. Afterwards, we can kind of claim the feeling of success and accomplishment that we actually did something that was truly stressful or truly threatening, and we made it. Surviving the experience also provides a sense of relief and grounds us in the moment. With the right kind of scare, we can leave behind stresses of daily life, if only temporary. So what goes into making the perfect haunted house? What do you think?
I don't know. Scary things, and everyone leaves safely.
That's that. Yeah, no, that is one thing. You got to have knowledge that you're not truly in danger, right? That is one thing. Once the moment you believe you're actually in danger, that's when it crosses the line and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So the perfect haunted house strikes a balance between making us feel afraid and letting us know we'll make it out at the end. One way to do that is to make sure the participants can go through the haunted house with friends or a significant other. In those moments of intensity, we're building really layered, complex memories that include these people. And so we come to think of them as, the trusted other. It becomes an incredibly powerful bonding moment.
Really?
That's what they say. Or you associate them with horror all the time and you don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, is that the same thing as trauma bonding?
It is. It basically is. Doesn't feel
like a manipulative.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Like now I don't want to go.
Yeah, it's like, hey baby, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm like, we bonded forever.
Yeah, that's so funny. Not funny.
Yeah. Oh wait.
The haunted house wouldn't be scary without monsters and ghouls, and finding the most frightening creatures create the ideal atmosphere. Clowns make the perfect monster. You have somebody who has a painted smile, but their mouth is actually frowning. Maybe I never noticed that was like part of the maybe the off-putting part of it. Yeah, that's the
I don't know. For
Winchester
me, it was
House.
the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Made them a little less fun for me.
Oh yeah, I like that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yep, they had that on like regular public TV.
I know, all the time.
Yes, they did all the
You
time.
you
You're
had to
right.
watch it. No wonder we were scared of everything. No wonder I was scared of everything. Like Phantom Tollbooth, which isn't a scary movie, and then Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Care Bears. What the heck?
You can't really get an
Yeah.
idea of what they're feeling, what they're going to do. This dissonance, it's our brain saying, "Is this person you know safe or not?" That dissonance is what's behind some of the iconic horror tropes, such as defiled child toys. These nightmarish objects take the familiar and distort them, confusing our senses and leaving us unsettled. Use all the senses. Any one of our senses can be stimulated to elicit a threat response in a haunted house. Loud noises, flashing lights, optical illusions, and even things that are surprising to the touch can all disrupt our predictive processing. Care explains, which is how our brains make sense and navigate our world. Anything that is surprising is going to startle people and activate the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic, yeah, I guess that is.
Yeah,
Just makes it sound like it's sad. Our
I
sense
know.
of smell can be especially powerful. It's the only sense where we're actually sensing molecules from the environment that trigger our neurons to fire. Smell also has been found to be strongly tied to our emotions and memories, yep, making it an evocative addition to a haunted house, like filtering a smoky scent into a creepy burnout bedroom.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. The last thing you want to smell in a haunted house is smoke.
They probably avoid that a little bit nowadays.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's scary because, yeah.
And then you got to keep it new and interesting. It is possible to overdo certain scares. Our startle reflex reacts strongly to surprises, but after repeated startles, that reflex can become saturated. That means people will actually start to tune them out as they get used to them. So in an ideal haunted house, startling effects should be spaced out. Novelty also tends to work better than taking a room or scare to its grisly extreme. It's a matter of thinking creatively about novel, different, unexpected types of setups. It's about engaging people and surprising them in an unexpected ways instead of making things more violent. In other words, it's best to skip the gore and get a little inventive instead.
Weird. Makes sense though. Yeesh.
All right, I think this is a good place to stop.
Yeah. We'll do part 2 next weekend.
Yup.
Halloween weekend. Oh, that was good. To make a sound bite of that one.
All right. Well, everybody have a good weekend, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Have a good weekend. Safe.